Hi everyone, Nathan here with ATC Cooling and Heating, and today we're going to address a really common question, and that is, what is the right temperature setting for your air conditioner? Now the other day, I read an article which was published on Vox that was entitled, "Stop Setting Your Thermostat at 72." Some interesting stuff in that article, and I'll share the best conclusions with you, but I think the author missed a really important point. Namely, he didn't factor in how quickly a system can change the temperature in a home or office building. But first, what do the experts say about the correct temperature to use? Well, back in 2009, EPA published a recommendation for cooling set point. Now, in that recommendation, they suggested that at home, when you're at home, 78 degrees. When you're away from home, 85 degrees. And at night, a rather balmy 82 degrees. Now, to encourage us to use these set points, EPA suggested that we will save up to 6% on our energy bills for every 1 degree that we go up. So, for example, a $150 monthly cooling bill would go down by $9 whole for every degree that you go up. For most people, the EPA's recommendations are little more than torture settings though. Going to bed and trying to sleep at 82 degrees will mean going to bed sweaty and no sleeping at all. Another industry group, ASHRAE, the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers, there's a mouthful for you, they set industry standards for all things HVAC related. And ASHRAE specifies an ideal range for a building's thermostat, and they use numbers like this, 73.4 to 78.8 in the summer. And according to a former ASHRAE president, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, he says, at least 80% of men and women are satisfied in that range, unquote. Of course, that leaves a good and not insignificant 20% who remain uncomfortable. A 2021 study published in the International Journal of Hygiene and Environmental Health found ASHRAE's numbers a little too high and instead recommended 71.6 to 75.2. Now, beyond being uncomfortable, temperatures out of these ranges can have measured impacts on people, right? For example, our health can be affected. Colder temperatures actually contribute to sickness. Your mom was right. A draft can cause a cold. Our work productivity can also worsen outside of the ideal ranges. Try maintaining your focus at your computer with a temperature set at 80 degrees. Of course, there are other considerations for how each individual feels temperature too. For example, your age matters, your overall health condition, your metabolic rate, what medicines you might be taking, and of course what clothing that you wear. Ever gone to grandma's house and found that the temperature was far too warm? As we age, we become less tolerant of colder temperatures. Or think of an office setting. Formal attire may include a suit and a tie for some people, and a sleeveless blouse for others. Think these people may want different office temperatures? There's often a fight, in fact, for the control of the thermostat in many offices. In 2005, Japan's environmental minister launched an initiative called Cool Biz that pushed government offices to turn their thermostats up to 82 degrees from May through September to save energy. As an incentive of sorts, workers were allowed to ditch their formal office attire, so instead of suits and ties, people wore lighter, more casual attire. And many big corporations followed the government's lead, and by 2023, 86% of workplaces participated in this initiative. It turns out, here's what we learned from that, we can become acclimated to different temperatures if we give it time. Their result, about 14 days to get acclimated to a different temp. Air movement and humidity also play a big role in how we feel temperature. Running a fan, for example, can make a big difference in comfort as it accelerates evaporative cooling. And humidity can matter too. High humidity in the summer can make 75 degrees feel unbearably hot, while low humidity can make 75 degrees feel quite comfortable or even cool. Alright, so where does all of this leave us? First, a bit of a disclaimer. The temperature reading on your thermostat, it's likely lying to you. Now it's going to be close, but all thermostats read slightly different temperatures. The same air may have one thermostat reading 72 degrees and another 74. It happens quite frequently that when we install a new heat pump or furnace for someone, they call to say it doesn't cool or heat like the last one. What they really mean is that a setting of 74 degrees on the old thermostat doesn't feel the same as 74 on the new thermostat. And that's because those thermostats, well, they read differently. So the first point is set the temperature that is comfortable to you. Don't worry so much about the number on the screen, it's just a number. Second point, while programmable thermostats are super popular and give you the ability to set the temperature back at night when you're not home or away, they sometimes encourage us to ask of our HVAC systems things that are just impossible. For example, if we really followed EPA's recommendation and asked for a 7-degree temperature change from home to away and then back to home, we are likely going to be disappointed. And I've seen people ask their systems for a 10-degree temperature change. 75 in the morning, 85 during the day when they are not at home, and then 75 again at 5:30 when they return from work. On a hot day, your AC system will never be able to pull the temperature down 10 degrees, or even 7 or 5 degrees, all of a sudden at 5:30. And all of this says nothing about the impact on humidity. As we mentioned in a previous video, removing humidity is about AC runtime. The longer the unit runs, the more humidity it removes. And at 85 degrees during the daytime means not much running. That allows the humidity to build up in your home, so not only will the air be too hot at 5:30, it will be really humid too. And it can take a properly sized air conditioning system hours to pull your house down just a couple of degrees when it's really hot out, like in the late afternoon at 5:30. So what to do with all of this? Well, here's what I recommend. First of all, just find a comfortable temperature for you. For me, it's 75 degrees. For my wife, it's 72 degrees. So in my house, we compromise and we use 72 degrees. If you're leaving your home for more than 4 hours, feel free to set it back, like 2 or 3 degrees, but not more. If you set the temperature up more, be prepared for hotter temperatures than desired when you return. Lastly, at night, instead of setting the temperature up like EPA recommended, I find it a lot more comfortable if you go down a couple of degrees. You may too. In my house, this means I set the ductless mini split system that serves my bedroom down a couple of degrees at 10:30 p.m. That way, I don't have to cool the temperature across the entire house to have a comfortable bedroom. In the end, temperature is a very personal thing. What is comfortable to me may not be comfortable for you, and of course, consider your system's performance too, not just what EPA says you will save in utility bills. AC systems just don't move the temperature quickly, nor do they remove humidity when they aren't running. So if you have an HVAC question, feel free to leave a comment or visit us at www.atcservice.com. Thanks for watching. Stay cool out there.